Not going to waste any of your time. Let's build an amazing initial message for your cold DM system. This is my metrics here. This is my PRR, which stands for positive reply rate over last year and this year. We can see 35, 35, 38, 38, 35, 39, 39, 37. So this metric is the amount of people that I send my first initial message to and they reply positively. We can see it's around 37%, which is insane. It is completely unheard of. And after I go over everything that I want to go over with this video, you should be able to have similar results. Now, the first thing that we need to go over is that the permission-based system is still king, right? You've seen it, I'm sure you've probably been outreached to by dozens of people using some sort of permission-based opener, right? And the truth is, it works. So for you, don't get shiny object syndrome. Don't try and look for the new shiny fancy thing that the new shiny fancy YouTuber is telling you to do, right? We need to find what works, we need to iterate, and then we need to apply scale, okay? So when it comes to this kind of permission-based opener, we need to decide audio versus video versus text-based. So sending a permission-based opener, we need to first decide, are we going to send it through a voice message? Are we going to send it through a video message? Or are we going to send it through a text, right? The truth here is that there is no one right answer. And the truth here is that you need to test and you need to iterate, because things are going to work different for different people and things are going to work different, especially for different niches. So the gym niche versus the coach's niche versus the agency owner's niche might prefer different things. So the only thing that I can tell you to do right now is test. Do your first 250 audio based, and then do your next 250 video based, and then do your next 250 text based, and find which one gives you the highest positive reply rate and also the highest appointment booking rate. Something that's also very important for us to talk about is to not just solely look at the positive reply rate. If we had a super kind of bait and switching message, what's going to happen? Everybody is going to reply positively. You're going to have a 40-50% positive reply rate, but then when people kind of find out that you're not really saying what you said you were going to say in the first message, your ABR is going to drop to 0.5, 0.75. I would much rather you have a 30% positive reply rate and have a 4% appointment booking rate than have a 50% positive reply rate and then have a 1.5% appointment booking rate, right? Positive reply rate is a very good metric to look at, but it's not the whole picture. The whole picture is, of course, your appointment booking rate. Now, getting into it, I'm going to give you 5 examples of scripts right now for free. It's here right in front of you. These are 5 text-based scripts that you can use for your pitch 1. So I have to call it P1 because we have you'll see how our system works in a bit, I'll show you in a bit, but initial message P1, it all means the same thing, right? 5 very similar examples. To be completely honest with you, all I've done here is I've put my opener that gets me these responses into ChatGPT, and I said, ChatGPT, give me 5 similar openers, right? So of course you're going to change the name here. Matt's my name. You're going to change this to name, and then you're of course going to put in the prospect's name. Matt, I'll keep it super quick. I've got an idea that could be a cheat code for your gym, so of course put your niche inside of here. You cool if I share a bit you cool if I share a bit more, no pressure if not. Hey man, not sure if this is relevant or not, but I've helped a few people in similar spots do something kind of weird, kind of wild recently. Mind if I run it by you real quick? These work incredibly well. And all these are iterations of my thing. So this is what we're doing, right? We're finding what works, my thing works, we iterate it, we put it into ChatGPT, we find new ones, and we apply scale, right? You can pick any one of these, right? And in fact, these 2 are ones that I've personally used and that have personally got me amazing results, right? These work. They're right in front of you. Feel free to use them. Now, what's very important here is that, like I just said, we iterate. Because the truth is, if you just copy and paste one of these, it's so tempting to, and it would be so easy for you to do so. If you just copy and paste these, you will fail, right? Because these are going to work and you're going to see results for 3 to 6 months. But then you haven't iterated, so entropy is going to kick in, and these are going to start to slowly decline and slowly stop working. So what you need to do is you need to kind of look at these 5 examples, figure out what makes them so good, which I'll tell you is the transparency and is the permission based. Those are the kind of the 2 big things in this kind of new wave of scripts that's working very well. So if you can craft a script with those 2 first principles instead of just copy pasting something, then you're going to find a lot more success. Because when your script starts to stop working, you're going to know the parts of it that are important, and then you can then iterate, right? And this is going to be the same thing for when you test audio and when you test video, right? You're not going to just say these things word for word. You're going to craft a new script using the first principles that you've understood by creating your own text-based script, right? So I want you to pick right now, what's your first test going to be? Is it going to be audio? Is it going to be video? Or is it going to be text-based? And I want you to use these as inspiration to create your own scripts, to create your own initial message that has the same kind of characteristics and the same traits, and apply them to your niche, right? So maybe there's kind of some niche specific stuff that you know your niche would resonate with. But that being said, there are actually three objective truths about these initial messages. Number one, transparency. Number two, permission-based. And number three, that I didn't mention before, it's short and it's simple, right? You can read this in 10 seconds. Your audio or your video message should not be longer than 20 to 25 seconds, right? Now, I want to show you how the system works. So we send P1, and then we have 3 follow-ups, right? We send P1, we then follow up 24 hours after that, and 24 hours after that, we follow up again, then 48 hours after that, we follow up again. And these follow-ups are very, very simple. The kind of key first principles for these two are simple, short, and funny, right? Adding in humor here works so well, right? So you can figure out whatever joke you want to make for these three, add some humor into it, right? Create a P1 using these principles, and then create 3 follow-up messages, and then we have the perfect best initial message for you to start testing. It's simple and it fucking works, okay? Now, if you want me to kind of go into a bit more detail about how the entire system works, we can see here we have P2 and 7 follow-ups and P3 and 7 follow-ups, and then of course that leads to the appointment being booked. There's a lot to go over with these two, right? So comment, let me know if you want me to kind of touch on this stuff specifically, and if it seems like you want me to, I'll make an entire video specifically on P2 and an entire video specifically on P3, so you can see how we book, 60, 90, 120 appointments per month just from DMs. Okay, so comment that right now if you want to see it. If you are a more early stage agency owner, the first link in the description is for you. Please do all the usual stuff, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.